Zhao Liying is too good. The popularity of The Wind Blows Pinellia skyrocketed, and the annual championship won the soft hand. The popularity of this TV series that has exploded this year has been soaring. The pictures shot in the film are very textured, very similar to the style of a movie, including the camera work, and the colors are very good. Especially for the mirroring of this TV series, I really want to add chicken legs to Teacher Yunjing. It can be said that the atmosphere of the whole TV series is contracted by Teacher Yunjing, and it looks quite comfortable. Of course, this must be indispensable to the director's guidance to the staff. An excellent director can always guide excellent staff to produce high-quality films. After the TV series Blowing Pinellia starring Zhao Liying and Huo Hao was broadcast, I also sweated for them. Because December this year is not a good time, not only the World Cup is in full swing, but also the upcoming New Year. Even under such circumstances, the ratings of this TV series are still growing crazily, so there is no reason not to watch it. The reason why the film can reach such a high popularity is nothing more than the high quality of the film, or the high popularity of the leading stars. Zhao Liying, acting as Su Bangsha, is the female number one in this play. The plot mainly revolves around Su Bangsha's entrepreneurial development. The story is very coherent. Su Bangsha and Chen Yue initially cooperated together. Tong Xiaoqi, played by Huo Hao, the last three people became the Iron Triangle with the best relationship. They helped each other, relying on the profits from the waste yard along the way, and gradually the scale of the waste yard became larger and larger. Just when everyone was happy about this, a disaster befalls Chen Yue. Chen Yue's body has reached the point of coughing up blood. The development of the story already shows that Chen Yue's illness has come to an end. With the reluctance of Su Bangsha and Tong Xiaoqi, Chen Yue finally left them. Chen Yue was the most caring among the three of them. When Su Bangsha and Tong Xiaoqi have conflicts, Chen Yue always stands up to mediate, and Chen Yue is particularly able to endure hardships. In our daily life, it is similar to the kind of unknown people. Chen Zhao didn't see his own scrap steel factory established. Su Bangsha and Tong Xiaoqi changed the name of the scrap yard to Universe Steel in memory of him. Although Chen Yue left the human world, he existed in the hearts of Su Bangsha and Tong Xiaoqi in another way. The story will be a little bit tear-jerking when I see it here. Why is it said that Zhao Liying will win the annual championship, even though this TV series has not finished broadcasting? Judging from the current few episodes, the ratings of this TV series are already far ahead. With so many competitors, The Wind Blows Pinellia is not inferior. Under the leadership of Zhao Liying, the ratings of this TV series have been soaring. Zhao Liying is a mobile hotspot. No matter what you do, there will be a lot of heat. Whether it is acting skills or appearance, Zhao Liying has great advantages. In addition, Zhao Liying has been working hard for her acting career. In this new year, Zhao Liying has also gained a lot. Happiness to Thousands of Families, which also starred Zhao Liying before, won the annual championship of Beijing Satellite TV. Simply take these two works as an example. Zhao Liying has already won 2 championships, so many colleagues voted for Zhao Liying. The good news came. Not only did she have a successful career, but she also received many blessings from fans. It can be said that this is a good start for Zhao Liying. She has been popular since the beginning of the year, and she hopes to be popular until the end of the year. Overall, the whole team of Zhao Liying is too hardworking. Thank the director for allowing me to watch a good drama in the new year. The Wind Blows Pinellia, which is a young past worthy of recollection. And this is a TV series with the best reputation I have ever seen. Most of them are positive reviews. Few or none of them responded to the poor filming of this TV series. They are all full of praise. The Wind Blows Pinellia can be regarded as this year's representative work. I hope Zhao Liying can get better and better. If you have any comments on Zhao Liying, please leave a message in the comment area. 02. Wang Yibo fans rush to pre-order No Name. How do you think of the new Power of movie announcement? As of 1918 on January 17th, the pre-sale of the movie No Name starring Tony Leung and Wang Yibo has exceeded 60 million yuan, ahead of Man Jinghuang and The Wandering Earth, which had pre-sales of 50 million yuan. Among them, the pre-sale on the first day was as high as 39.68 million yuan. Behind such pre-sale results, Wang Yibo's fans have made outstanding contributions. Not only the fan stations have large-scale reservations and pre-sales, but also many loose fans buy tickets for relatives and friends around them, and jointly contribute to box office pre-sales. The power of the fans has once again become a phenomenal spectacle in terms of boosting pre-sale results. However, despite being the #1 film in terms of pre-sales, No Name is currently ranked 4th with only 13% of the total number of films scheduled for the first day of the Lunar New Year. In the Spring Festival season, a place where filmmakers must compete, the battle for publicity is already white hot, and fan power is not enough to change the situation. In fact, fans and cinemas all have their own considerations, and the purpose and role of fans in boosting pre-sales is not as simple as scheduling films to boost box office. The ability of Wang Yibo's fans to boost box office is not new, and the ability of Wang Yibo's fans to rush pre-sales was noticed by the cinema and as early as last year's National Day when King of the Long Sky was released. However, the fan power behind the debut of such an entertainer as Wang Yibo in a Chinese New Year film has attracted the interest of practitioners. What do fans, theaters and distributors think of this fan rush to pre-sales? Lulu, a casual fan of Wang Yibo, who has paid for 3 shows of no name, Mr. Wang, a cinema manager with over 20 years of experience, and Hua, a veteran distributor with over 10 years of experience, gave their own interpretations from the perspectives of fans, cinemas and distributors respectively. Fan representative Lulu. The day Nameless was scheduled, I changed my WeChat avatar to watch Nameless on the first day of the Chinese New Year, and I started contacting the cinema in my hometown before the pre-sale started. When I called the cinema, before I even asked, the person asked if I was here to inquire about a private screening of the Nameless, as my home is not a first or second tier city and is quite remote. I was trying to ask if there would be an IMAX venue, and the person on the other end was very friendly, so I said I would have to see what was behind it. I later found out that packages start at 3, with at least 80 tickets per game, at $40 a ticket, and I've only got 3 so far, so I'll try to find someone to fill the seats when the time comes. I also sent out more than 30 red packets to my friends, inviting them to see Nameless, and then all the people I know, or friends of friends, who went to see Nameless, can bring as many people as they want and I can reimburse them for the movie tickets. Ticket prices for the Nameless at some cinemas in Beijing, screenshot from Ticketmaster. I see that some fans on the internet will give tickets to strangers, which I won't do because I don't know if some of them are going with malice towards Yibo. In fact, my main purpose in doing these packages and giving away tickets is that I want Nameless to be seen by more people and get a more fair and objective review. The film is not yet released, so we fans are following the rhythm of the filmmaker's publicity. In fact, the original intention was to see if we could influence the ranking. After all, the ranking of the King of the Long Sky during the National Day was not very good at the beginning, but because the pre-sale was too strong, the ranking rose at once. But the Spring Festival is still a seller's market for the cinemas, and the big films should spend money to keep the ranking, so the effect may not be that great, but at least the ranking will not fall too much. At the moment I can see that pre-sales don't have a big impact on the number of releases, but anyway, pre-sales are counted in the box office. We will also see if word of mouth can ferment in the later stages, as people have confidence in director Changer. If I had to choose between a high-grossing film and a mediocre one, I would definitely choose the latter. In the end, I just want this work to be seen by more people, I don't want much else. In my third-tier city's downtown cinema, the pre-sales of No Name is not the highest in the city, it's about $4,000 to $5,000 now, ranking third. In fact, the Spring Festival season is basically a time when big cinemas and big movie management have unified scheduling guidelines, like we do, so we are not affected by fan behavior. Even though we have the autonomy to schedule films, I don't think too much about the pre-sales results from the fans. If a fan asks me for a venue, then I will ask for a package, call in the money first and get the tickets out on the spot, and I can give you enough venues. In fact, Wang Yibo's fan base is high, but the New Year's plate is big, and it looks like pre-sales of 60 million yuan is already good, but for a big plate of billions in the Spring Festival season, this pre-sales is not much. And this year's overall pre-sales are not that high either. The pre-sales plate did not hold up, unlike the year when the pre-sales of Tang Dynasty were so high that it could really affect the scheduling. We definitely set the trend for the first 3 days, but we have to rely on the word of mouth, customer flow and audience acceptance after the release of the film, and we basically have to check the box office trend every 10 minutes from the first to the third day of the year. I have talked to some of my colleagues in the industry before, and perhaps their view is that 300 or 400 million yuan is the limit of what fans can achieve. I think that in the Spring Festival season, fans are, to a certain extent, cannon fodder, but if they don't do it now, when will they? Isn't this the moment when love for idols is expressed? The impact of pre-sales for fans is certainly minimal, but it's worth it. One is because of the pre-sales, which have made a lot of buzz. More importantly, everyone knows that Wang Yibo has a lot of fans, and if the fans don't rush at this point, the theater end will judge him less favorably. You are supposed to be a top streamer. If the fans don't even flush the pre-sale, that means even the fans are not interested in the film, then maybe the theater that was planning to give you a 10% slot actually only gives you an 8% slot. In fact, cinemas hardly consider the amount of fans of the main actor, but Wang Yibo is a kind of top stream, and there are very few actors who can really rely on the power of their fans to push the box office. Lulu, above, is a typical casual fan who buys her own tickets and reimburses her friends for movie tickets, which is an effective complement to fan stations' large-scale box office campaigns. The active film promotion led by fan stations is much more organized, and can even be described as professional and all-channel coverage. In addition to acts that directly contribute to box office output, such as chartering venues and organizing fan swaps across the country to fill them, fan groups also work on publicity. For example, they bought big screens in underground stations with huge traffic flow, found new media matrices to publish articles, did joint advertising with cinemas, started publicity in public sound channels such as radio stations, and so on, to cover all the bases online and offline, new media and traditional media. These are the regular actions during a film's promotion period, which should be carried out by the film studio, but it is difficult for the studio to cover every corner and every channel in the country. Lulu told Entertainment Studio that she was worried that the fans' rush to pre-sales would be taken as a kind of fan circle chaos, but in fact we are all doing what we can to promote the film within the scope of our profession, in the hope that good films will not be buried and can be seen by more people. In the opinion of Mr. Wang, the manager of the cinema, fans are actually a new force of independent publicity, more enthusiastic than ordinary movie tap water, and even more rapid than the film studio's publicity. No name was scheduled late, and right after it was scheduled, some fans called to ask if we could put up a display in the cinema. In my city, I even heard that 2 cinemas had made themed cinemas for Nameless, all of which were spontaneous actions by fans and had nothing to do with the film studio's promotion. The fans said to me at the time that it was fun for you to change the official display when it arrived, and I remember that the fan materials arrived 2 days after it was scheduled. Manager Wang said that originally this kind of cinema position advertising was done by the film studio, but now the fans are doing it, that is, they are very enthusiastic to help on their own. The fans will highlight Wang Yibo in the materials, but they will not leave behind Tony Leung. The more small the production, the greater the influence of fans. If fans can make a film achieve what it could not have achieved, it can only be seen on such films that would not have had high box office, but the more large the production but the bigger the production, the less the fan effect will be, and ultimately it's up to the general audience to give the film a high box office. Especially in the spring festival season, the film scheduling fees are getting higher and higher. Hua introduced that such releasing fees are either given to single cinemas or to cinema management, but more often than not, they are given to both cinema management and their cinemas. The high releasing fees affect only a few percent of the fine-tuning, and it is impossible to go from 10% to 30% of the releasing because of the money spent. Even if everyone splashes the cash, the quality of the film will still depend on the theatrical end, and the scheduling fee will only govern the box office on the first day of the year. Even though the power of fans is negligible in such a Chinese New Year festival season where real money is grabbed, in Hua's opinion, fan behavior also proves at least that her own idol is an actor with box office appeal. A decade or two ago, Chinese cinema was more about directors with box office appeal. And from Yang Mi's The Orphanage to Liu Han's start of the Flow era, the film industry began to embrace artists with fans, and when the box office appeal of Flow stars was found to have a limited ceiling, the film industry began to revise its approach to hiring. Nowadays, many Flow stars are working as secondaries in big quality productions, learning from former actors and directors on one hand. On the other hand, they are also attracting their own fans to see some good works, and the fans are also promoting the films vigorously on their own to make them known to more people. When we talk about the pre-sales of fans of Flow artists, perhaps we don't need to magnify their influence or demonize them as fan chaos, but just treat them as a wild force of independent promotion, so that good films are not buried and their idols are seen and even recognized by more people.